Hey, good morning, Advantage Army. What's going on? This is Dr. Jeff. A little sneak peek into the studio. It's a little mess yet. We're getting things set up where we will be using this space for our podcast, our YouTube, all these things. Look at this. We got the microphones. We're going to get all this hooked up. Courtesy of Stephan Studios here in Jordan, Minnesota. So check them out. But here's the deal. Here is the deal. When is the blame game going to stop? That is the question I have for you today. When is the blame game going to stop? The media doesn't give two number twos about you or your health. Flat out. This is absolute asinine. And the reason people even watch this stuff is we're sitting here today in 2021 waiting for this to get any more ridiculous. And you know what? The circus is in full swing. The circus of healthcare is in full swing, and it has been. I think over the last few years, being a healthcare provider for 14 years, it is something that pisses me off to no end that the circus of media and social media, and I'm not saying I'm 100% innocent in all this, but think about this. The absolute circus that people have ran around with their family's healthcare and the absolute lies, the debauchery, and the disgustingness that has happened to families across the United States is absolutely unacceptable. It's absolutely unacceptable. I'm really trying to bite my tongue and not swear a lot on this video, but I will tell you what, in my quiet times, in my prayers to God, sometimes they include some swear words. And you know what? God is big enough to handle how I am feeling about all of this, because it essentially is that we have been lied to the point that you don't have any responsibility in your health. And here's why I'm really pissed off, is because yesterday, we've been in here a couple weeks in our new office, and I love it. I love our new office. But here's the flat of it is that people have bought into the lie that they don't have responsibility in their health. And that's piss poor wrong. It is absolutely wrong. The fact of the matter is now we can actually blame somebody else for us being sick. We can blame our providers for not getting us well. And flat out in today's world, we get to blame everybody else for something. You know what? My dog died, and so I'm gonna blame so-and-so across town. That my dog died. Like, that's how ridiculous it is. And now we've got Big Bird promoting things, all of these things to indoctrinate our children into the fact that you were born to be sick, you were born to be a slave to the system, and unless you're taking 12 medications a day, by the way, which is on average the number of prescriptions that most people carry, Americans carry, is 12. So I'm on 0, so to realize someone has to be on a lot higher than that to raise that average. So this is what we're dealing with. Now, what am I going to do about it? I can rant and rave, and yes, I'm building this podcast studio so that we can get louder, educate, empower, and eradicate lifestyle disease. And I realize that may sound like an asinine goal, but for crying out loud, who out there is fighting for things that people can do for themselves? And it's the hardworking people. It's like I drove yesterday and dropped off some chairs at this rental company, and they're just good, hardworking people. They're like organizing a warehouse and all those things, and heaven forbid that they watch the news or all those things. But the fact of the matter is there is still somehow credibility in what's on the news. The news is absolute freaking garbage. Here's the analogy I want to give to you. The analogy I want to give to you is this. Picture yourself if you don't have kids. I've got four kids, but they're ages 5 to 12. And if I was sitting there and I was making dinner, and I had invited a couple dinner guests over for dinner, and I'm sitting there, and as I'm making dinner with my wife, and the kids are hanging out, and the kids are there, and all of a sudden I overhear my house guests start telling my kids about sex, drugs, murder, rape, and all of a sudden, like this house guest I have is sitting there talking to my 5-year-old about sex, killing people, murder, drugs, all of these things. How long do you think it's going to be that I allow that house guest to talk to my 5-year-old? It's going to be about 0.2 seconds. It's going to be violent. I'm going to put some hands on somebody, and they're going to be out of my house. And I'm going to be mad. I'm probably going to be fired up the rest of the night. It may be an off night for everybody else, but I will defend my freaking family to the nth degree when it comes to that indoctrination. But now, see, it isn't a house guest. It is what we keep on in the background of the TV. Do you guys ever wonder this? Why do we allow the news to run on our TV or in our homes? Why do we allow it to run in the background and subconsciously just saturate our brain into thinking that healthy people don't exist, that we can't do anything for our health, that we're going to wake up fat, fatigued, and over 40 and just freaking miserable and need depression, anxiety meds, and mental health is off the rails. Like, listen, you guys, I'm not the crazy one. I will go down in history right on this. And I can promise you, because I know the fruit and I know the results. I was reading the other day in the Bible, it says a good tree cannot produce bad fruit and a bad tree cannot produce good fruit. And by them you shall know their fruit. So when it comes at the end of it, and even tomorrow, I'm getting my blood vitamin D checked because it's the most freaking important vitamin going into cold and flu season. I'm getting that done tomorrow. By the way, we also launched a workshop called Being Sick Sucks. You know why? Because being sick sucks. That's why. And no one else is out there talking about the things you can actually do. So we've got our nurse, Sarah. We're talking about vitamin IVs. We're talking about chiropractic. Come that night. It's called liveyouradvantage.com. You can register. You can register here under our events tab. It's a free event, but get registered. By the way, those in attendance, we're going to do some drawings for free vitamin IV bags. That's right, free. I'm buying them. I still have to buy the vitamins, but someone there that night. So register for the event. We already had somebody register. Shout out to Lindsay, who was on top of it, but I'll be sending that out through our email list. But the bottom line is, here's the deal. If we're going to let that run in the background of our mind, we cannot be upset with the results it will produce. We cannot. We cannot wake up and say, you know what, I'm not responsible. I'm going to wait for the news to tell me what to do with my healthcare. Are you freaking kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? We're going to let the news dictate what's up with your healthcare? When have they talked about natural immunity? When have they talked about anything you can proactively do? Walking and water are free, yet we still don't do it. We still don't do it. And so the workshops are kicking off December 8th. We're going to have our first one because we're going to get out there. We're going to get loud. And frankly, I think more people should stand up and realize it's garbage. And they do. I think some people are just afraid to say anything. But when we look at this, it's going to be this. We're going to camera set up there. We got lights. We got the microphones. Microphones are on the ground. It's going to take that. Getting up there, and I'm okay with losing some people who follow me. I don't even know half the people who follow me. I'm okay with losing patients. It sucks because I care about them a lot. Spent some time on the phone this morning with a gal, just talking her through the fact that her life has sucked miserably for a long time, and she just needs someone to say, "Hey, you're gonna have to look in the mirror, own your choices." And realize that just because you chose yourself into the lifestyle that you have, yes, you're 60 pounds overweight. Yes, you're not sleeping well. Yes, you're on far too many medications. You're toxic. Not her as a person, she's a beautiful person, but she's toxic with all the things going into her body and not enough good things. We have to have these conversations. Ultimately, if we don't have those conversations, we can't complain about the results in our life. So I want to encourage you guys, share this video up. I am pissed off in a lot of ways, and it's okay to say that. I won't stay there because I'm going to use this to fuel the fire, to educate, empower, and eradicate lifestyle disease in the patients that we have. And the new patients that are calling. Listen, the health center is open. We've been here 2 weeks. It's been amazing. A ton of blessings. Like God is on the move, and God has a big purpose for my life, and I'm okay to say that. Some people say, "Oh, you say God, you can't say that." Well, guess what? God is real, and He's got a purpose for my life, and I'm going to run my race with my focus on Jesus because I have to. You guys, life is short. Do you realize the clock is ticking? And for some of us, the clock is not on our side. I may get hit by a bus tomorrow, or maybe stay off the roads. But you never know when it's going to come. So ultimately, you either have to decide that your life is worth it and that you're going to do something about it today. Not tomorrow. You can't change yesterday. You can't live in tomorrow. You can't live in yesterday. You got to do something about it today. It could just be that you call a friend and you say, "Hey, I haven't talked to you in a while, or haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? I love you. I love what you're doing." It may be as simple as that, but freaking do something. Screw the news, screw the media, screw everybody else that's trying to tell you how to live your life in any other way that doesn't serve you. Okay? Your life should impact yourself, your family, and those around you. It's a triple win. And when you start knocking on those doors and you start seeking those things and you start doing those things that improve your life that way, you will look back in a short amount of time, in 90 days from now, and realize that you built a person that you never thought you could be, but you always wanted to be inside of you. And that's what the Advantage Life is all about. So I will go down swinging. I will go down speaking my truth, and I will shame the devil. Because we are about something here, and we're about a mission and a purpose. So by the way, if this doesn't sound like your normal chiropractor or normal health center office and you like it, cool. Like us, follow us, share this information. If this sounds like a little bit too much, a little bit too dramatic, and you think, "Man, this guy's off his rocker," then maybe don't like it, don't watch it, or delete it. I don't care. I don't care either way, but I'm going to get this off my chest, and because lives are at stake and lives matter. So I love and appreciate you guys. Life is better when you're well adjusted. Go to liveyouradvantage.com. Sign up for the upcoming workshop called Being Sick Sucks. And then you'll find out all the details at that website. So we'll talk to you guys soon.